Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Patrice, and in this video we will be discussing things I've read. And now let's get started. In this video I'm going to review 3 books. One of the books from this library haul, I made a mistake and I got the second or third book in the series instead of getting the first book. So I returned that book. So we will only have 3 books that I have reviewed today. The first book we're going to start with is titled We Had a Hunch, written by Tom Ryan. And this is a mystery thriller book. And the summary says, few stories captured the public's imagination in the year 2000 like the friendly rivalry between the teen detectives of Edgar Mills, Massachusetts. Twin sisters Alice and Samantha help their father, police chief Bill Van Dyne, bust a drug smuggling ring. Across town, Joey O'Day used his computer skills to expose an online grifter preying on elderly victims. But when a brutal series of murders rocked Edgar Mills, a deadly miscalculation by the Van Dyne twins led to the deaths of both their father and Alice's boyfriend. The killer, known as the janitor, was captured, but nothing was the same. When Edgar Mills is shaken by a new murder that matches the janitor's MO, the killer offers to provide information to crack the case. The catch: he'll only talk to the teen detectives that put him away. So this book, I had a few likes and a few dislikes. So one of the things that I really enjoyed about this book is that you get like a podcast / TikTok transcript. So it's sort of written like a true crime podcast. So you get to read those, and those were like very entertaining and a good addition to the way the author was telling the story. The story definitely kept you guessing, like trying to figure out like who's lying and who's telling the truth. And there are like so many like suspects that you definitely keep going back and forth. Like, wait a minute, like I thought it was this person, but maybe it could be that person. The ending made for a good setup for a follow-up book. So I hope the story continues. I would read a follow-up book if it did. And the things that I didn't really enjoy, though, is this book read more like a young adult story than like a real like mystery, cozy thriller. It was more like a lot of references to TikTok and podcasting and like social media and those kind of like reality TV and that kind of stuff. So a lot of YA themes and stuff. And some of the twists in here were very obvious. Um, Even like the major twists at the end, you could kind of see coming. And a lot of these characters, they just had very poor communication skills, especially like Alice and her husband. Um, but other than that, like the book was good. I'm waffling between giving this a 3 or a 4. So it's like between okay and good. Um, so we'll see where I end up for my Goodreads. So yeah, overall, it's between a 3 and a 4 for me. The next book that we're going to talk about is titled Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife, written by Martin Edwards, and this is a mystery. And the summary says, you're invited to an all-expenses-paid Christmas holiday at midwinter, a remote hamlet in England, to play a murder mystery game. You're joining 6 other players. a mystery writer, a publicist, an influencer, a true crime podcaster, a literary agent, and a publisher. One by one, people begin dying. Suddenly, the game turns very real, and the players realize they must figure out what happened 5 years ago when another guest died at midwinter under mysterious circumstances. So, the things that I enjoyed about this is that it's sort of like a mystery within a mystery. So, you actually do get to solve the murder mystery that the characters are playing, and then outside of that, the players are actually being murdered themselves. So then you have this larger mystery to solve as well. So the smaller mystery, you do get clues and things like that to help you solve it. And at the end of the book, the author includes like a clue finder, and it sort of tells you like where in the story the clue showed up, and it helps you to see if you were observant enough to pick up on these things. So I guess you could like score yourself if you wanted to, um, but you didn't have to. And I'm trying to think. I think this story did have illustrations, so that was nice as well. But some of the things I didn't like, so even though you are getting clues to solve that smaller mystery, some of the puzzles were very difficult to solve. It's like if I have to go and like Google something to like solve these things, you know, you're doing too much right there. Like it's way too hard. And I feel like some of the misdirection, like they were trying too hard to misdirect us, and it made the story kind of clunky. Like some of these things you would just like not pick up on, and they were kind of like important to the story, and it's like I would never know that. Like that is just something I would not know as a casual reader. Like you would not know this. So that kind of, you know, bogged the story down like a little bit. Overall, I gave this a 3. Like it was just okay for me. But this author, he does have other mystery series. So I will try to read some of his other work. One of the series is led by a female main character. So I am interested in getting that series and seeing how that goes. The next book that I'm going to talk about today is titled A Thousand Ships, written by Natalie Haynes. And this is a historical fiction, and it also deals with mythology. And the summary says Troy has fallen from the Trojan women whose fates now lie in the hands of the Greeks, to the Amazon princess who fought Achilles on their behalf, to Penelope awaiting the return of Odysseus. These are the stories of the women whose lives, loves, and rivalries were forever altered by history's most infamous war. So this story was really, again, like the summary says, like a story about the Trojan War, but it was told from the perspective of the women that were involved in the story. And usually, you know, we get to hear about the hero's point of view, but this was all about the women that were involved. And this is a book that I did a soft D and F on, and I said I was going to pick it back up. So I had the opportunity to get it, and um, I did actually finish it this time. So I like that it deals with mythology. Like when I was growing up, I like reading like Greek and Roman mythology, and just like any other stories from other cultures about, you know, their gods and goddesses and stuff like that. And this story also tells the tale from different points of view. So you get to see multiple people's feelings and their actions and how it influenced the rest of the story. I really didn't have anything that I absolutely like disliked or that um like made this story not enjoyable for me. Um so like nothing on that score. Overall I gave this a 3. I thought it was just, okay. It was sort of like it had action, but it was a little gory at times and just like a little bit like what people were doing, it was like a little bit cruel. Um, so that made it not as enjoyable, and it was like a little slow. It took me a while to get through this book. So overall, it was just okay for me. Now that is the end of this video, the end of this book review. Let me know if you have read any of these stories or if these sound interesting to you. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye.